Hello, it's Jay here again. Welcome to another tutorial. So in this lesson we are going to take a break from doing the options menu. So we will be coming back to that obviously because there's lots of other things we need to include, but I thought a break would be good. Now as you can see, I've begun to import my scripts and various other assets from the previous build, and I've been through this before, but if you're unsure, and I'll just come to resources. As you can see, I've imported the FPS controller. Just remember to select what you want to export, hit export package, save it somewhere on your desktop, and then just import package, custom package, find where you've exported to and re-import it in. And I would advise you, before you import anything into a new build, make a backup, especially the scripts, if not the whole project, because obviously we have, for example, the main menu is the most important. We rewrote this script, and if you import all the scripts into the new one, it will get overwritten. So make sure you have a backup of your overhauled main menu, and it's a good idea to do it for all the scripts before you import anything into this project, or you could end up losing the updated script, which you don't want to do. So with that now said, let's go on, and we'll begin by coming to the launch manager, and we're going to copy the first line, private game object, and we'll rename this to player instantiate prefab, and we'll just change that in the comments as well. In the void awake, we'll copy that line, we'll paste it back in, the new naming convention here, and let's change the comment again. Prefab. Now obviously we need to change this, so let's come to our resources folder, and then we'll come to game object, create empty, and we'll give this a name of player instantiate with the little underscore between the words. And we'll just drag and drop that into the resources folder. We'll delete it from the hierarchy. We'll hit F2, copy, just click away, and then paste that naming convention in. I'll break this up to 2 lines. Equals instantiate that naming convention as a game object into the scene. We'll come to the void start, we'll copy the very first line where we positioned prefab, And this is just because I like to keep these prefabs all together in the scene. Again, I'll just break up the comments line. And we'll save that off. So now let's hit play. We're in the splash screen. And as you can see, player instantiate clone. And it needs to go into don't destroy this on load, but we're about to do that now. So let's come to scripts. I'll create a new folder for this actually. Game start. I think that'll be fine. Create C# script. Player instantiate. And we'll just open that up for editing. Let's come into the script right at the very top. Private game object, sorry, that should be underscore player prefab. Let's close that line off. Into the comments, reference to the player's prefab. And we're going to create a public to begin with. Now we're going to use a vector 3. We'll give this a naming convention of underscore players starting position. It's going to equal a new vector 3. Open and close brackets, close the line off, in the brackets 0, 0, 0. I'll just break that line up for commenting. We'll say defines players starting position to equal a vector 3, we'll say at these coordinates. So we're going to make this public to begin with, because you will need to experiment by these 3 values, and it's going to be different for each and every one of you depending on how you've set up your game. So that's why I'm going to just leave them at 3 zeros for now. Obviously I'll be changing these once you've experimented in the inspector, and you're sure you don't want to change it. You can obviously input the figures into the script and switch it to private. But for now, let's come to the void start. Obviously, don't destroy on load. Open and close brackets, close the line off. Inside the brackets, this. Into the comments, we'll say don't destroy this game object on loading scene, because obviously it applies to the game object it's attached to. And don't think we'll actually need the void update. I'll leave it in there for now. Now there are going to be more code for this script. Obviously at some point down the line you want either save spots or checkpoints. I'll probably do both actually in this game, so you can decide which ones you want to have in your game. And obviously there will be different starting positions for those if you are coming back to the game, reloading it, but we'll just begin with the starting position for now. And sorry, that should be public void. Let's give this a naming convention of instantiate player at starting position, open and close brackets, open and close again, inside those brackets underscore player prefab. That's going to equal instantiate, open and close brackets, inside the brackets we're going to say resources dot load, open and close brackets again, inside the brackets, and it needs to be exactly the same, and it's better just to press F2, copy, just click away, and then we'll paste that naming convention in. End of the line as game object with the capital G, very important. Let's break this up for commenting. First line, player prefab, we'll say equals the, paste that in, FPS controller. I shall put that in speech marks in the comments as well. Within the resources folder, as a game object into the scene. We'll enter twice, we'll create that line break, underscore player prefab dot transform dot position. That's going to equal, open and close brackets, close the line off, inside the brackets, player's starting position. Again, we'll break that up for commenting. We'll say set player game objects position to equal, next line, the player's starting position, and we can save that off. Come to the player instantiate prefab, add component scripts, and we'll just need to find the script, player instantiate, and in fact we'll come back to the game start folder, and we're going to create a new C# script. We'll just call this starting game. I may change that naming convention later, but we'll just go with starting game for now. And in the void update of this script, we're going to say if, open and close brackets, input dot get key down. We'll open and close brackets, so inside brackets, little speech marks, we're going to say space. And yeah, we'll put it into comments now. If import equals the spacebar, we'll enter send message upwards. We're going to open and close brackets. Inside the brackets, we're going to put speech marks. And what we want, if we come back to the player instantiate script, we want the naming convention of this void instantiate player at starting position. So let's paste that in. We'll come after the speech mark, but before the close brackets, we're going to put a comma. And we'll say send message options dot don't require receiver. Close the line off. So let's break this up for commenting. So we'll begin with send message upwards. We'll say to reference the and we'll put instantiate player at starting position. I'll put that in speech marks as well. Function. You can put within the player instantiate script if you wish. And the final line. We'll just put, let's say, receiver not required. Now, we're going to save this off. And a little word of note, this code is temporary. We are going to be replacing it at a later date, but this is just so we have something working for now. So let's come to resources. Let's have a look. Game start, starting game. So we'll add that in. We'll hit play. Let's go through it. As you can see, player instantiate clone now appears in the don't destroy on load. We'll just let it run through. And we shall wait for the level to load. So here we are in the game world. Obviously we're just using the main camera at the moment. Let's hit the space bar. And there's our FPS controller. So yes, I will definitely need to change my starting position within the game. But at least it's working, and as I said, I know this hitting the spacebar. Oh yes, I'll need to reset up the buttons. And you will too, obviously, but yes, it's only temporary code. We're going to do something a little more polished, but that's coming later. Just wanted to get something working for this video, but I think we'll leave it there for now. And as always, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time, and until then, as always, bye for now.